everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Successful Women's TV show. My name is Galit Ventura-Rosen. I am co-founder of Everyday Woman TV, a professional speaker, and a serial entrepreneur. One of my favorite things in the world to do is spotlight women that are doing amazing things out there to inspire and motivate others. I am very excited to have with me today Dr. Erin. Welcome, Erin.
Hi, Galit. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to be reconnecting with you. We've known each other now for a few years. I love sharing where I met people. And Dr. Erin and I were we were recognized for an award that we got, Heroes of Change. And so I met her at an event where we got this amazing award, each of us. And we have stayed connected ever since, just because we're completely in alignment with everything we're doing. So thank you. All right, here we go. Dr. Erin Oksol, the Success Psychologist. She is known as an award-winning international speaker and trainer, high-performance sales and business strategist, founder of The Higher Life, podcast host, and 7 times #1 best-selling author, and we were just talking about her next book. She's been awarded Nevada's Professional Saleswoman of the Year and one of Nevada's top 20 most powerful women. She loves coaching individuals and organizations to be the best and has worked with companies including Facebook and Microsoft. So one of the things that Dr. Erin and I have in common is we both live in Nevada. She's Northern Nevada. I'm Southern Nevada.
We both like to be one of the greats. We both like to be one of the greats.
Doing what we love.
Yes.
Right? All right. So let's talk a little bit about your topic, and then I want you to share about yourself a little bit more. And I'm excited about the topic because I think it's so perfect for our audience of those listening and watching. Habits of high-performing women.
Yeah. So I always love to start with the definition of high performance, because I've actually asked quite a number of people throughout the years, like, do you want to be a high performer? And it was so surprising to me that many people would say, no. And I realized we were working on different definitions, because when you work on my definition, I think everyone would kind of want that. But what people weren't wanting was this idea of like, well, I'm sure to have it all, I'd have to sacrifice something. And so really, to be a high performer in my world, my definition is you're at the top 3% of your profession, or whatever it is that you're passionate about. That sounds great. You stay there for a long, long time, like decades. So let's say like someone like Galit is at the top of her, top 20 real estate agents, and Galit is there every single year. And you're like, how does Galit always stay there? She just never, it's the longevity, which fascinates me. There's no crash and burn. There's no, they were #1 for 3 years, and then they went into the witness protection program. So that's the second pillar. When you study high performers, they have joy. Who wants joy? We all do.
Well, I know I do. So
I know, like, they are confident. And they are engaged, which means they feel their day. They're not going through the motions. They're not asleep at the wheel. They're feeling their life. And then last, this is the kicker, they enjoy the greatest relationships and health of anyone on the planet. So they're not achieving success at the expense of the things that actually matter most. They're not just accidentally, forgetting the name of their firstborn child because they've, ranked up in success in their business, So when we think about the high performance life, I look back on my life, Galit, and I think I thought I was always a high performer. I was straight A's. I was get every degree behind my name. And for a lot of my life, I was actually just a perfectionist. And so the high performance life is one where your vision and your identity of who you value being pulls you. It's a life where you don't have to push. You and I were just talking about that. We don't wake up in most days and be like, oh, I just got to get back at it. We are like so driven by our mission and our goals, and we are awake to those and who we value being. And so when you look at in a study, what are the habits of high performers? That's the easy part. But I'll share them with you, but they're driven and they're pulled by a greater understanding of identity.
I love that. Okay, so I'm going to stop you for a second because you just said so many amazing things. And I'm not going to remember them all, but I'm going to try and then you'll remind me. So the first thing that stuck to me right away is the perfectionist. When you're, okay, I've got to get straight A's. I've got to get the degree. And listen to my words, got to or should, got to or should, got to or should. And one of the reasons Dr. Erin and I get along so well is because we are so similar in that path. Mm-hmm. And when you let go of that idea of perfectionism, which first of all is unachievable and you're wasting your energy and it causes a lot of stress. I was a self-professed perfectionist as well. Everything opens up for you. So let's start talking about these high performance characteristics. Let's call them characteristics. Everyone calls them something a little different, but I love it. So joy is pretty self-explanatory. You want to be a happy person. Let's talk about the one that you said, which is engage. I like that one.
Yeah, there's 5 ways to really kind of wake up to your life. And, all great coaches create acronyms. So my acronym is AMPed. It'll be an easy way for you to remember them. And I'll just walk through the pillars really quickly and then we can dive in. To get amped in your life, to supercharge your joy and your life and your success, right?
Right.
A is we're going to activate our ideal self. We're going to say, who do I value being? And then we're going to be her now. I want you to imagine she is sitting by you at all times. And the problem is you're just not consulting with her very often and you're not listening to her, but she knows the answers. She actually knows the answers that Google can never give you. Mm. Who do I value being? When my husband comes home tonight, how do I value being a wife to him? What kind of mother do I value being? What should I eat today? Should I go to the gym? Should I make the sales calls? Should I keep the promises I'm making to myself? So you're activating your ideal self. M is you're motivated. This is fascinating. Motivation is, how am I serving others greatly? If you're not motivated, it simply tells me you forgot your mission.
Okay.
P, you're productive. Totally different definition of productivity. I don't care how many hours you're working. It doesn't matter. Productivity is, are you moving the needle on what matters most? E, you're energized. Very simple. Are you sleeping and drinking? I like to joke, are you drink your way to the top and sleep your way to success? I mean, that's my stupid little joke, right? But right. You high performers are doing certain things with their health, but are you drinking water and sleeping? And D, are you disciplined? Are you keeping the promises you make to yourself? Now, it's going to be hard to keep the promises you make to yourself if you don't have a sense of why you're doing this and necessity, why you must. Who is counting on you to keep those promises? Who's counting on you to be on your A game? And sometimes that's yourself. Sometimes that's your dream. Sometimes that's your mission. Sometimes that's other people. Mm-hmm. So being, engaged in your life, the thing that sets people apart from high performers, from non-high performers, is the concept of intention. So
ooh, beautiful.
Brendan Burchard trained me, and he was Oprah's coach. So if it's good enough for Oprah, it's good enough for us, right, Galit?
Right. I agree.
She said he learned from her that she started every meeting at Harpo Studios for 25 years with her staff with the same question. She would sit in, and I'm going to impersonate my Oprah, and she would say, okay, what is your intention for this meeting? And that is the kicker. Are you intentional? So before I got on this call with you, I set my intention. What is my intention for this call? Before I go into a networking meeting, I set my intention. My intention is to meet the most positive, joyful person. That's why you and I connected. I was looking for you and I found you. This doesn't happen by chance. This people who are high performers they're awake, and it's a glorious way to live.
It really is. I love, love, love. So first of all, for those of you watching and also listening, because those on the podcast that are listening, you can hear the energy. You can hear the passion. You can also watch it at everydaywomentv.com so you can see the excitement in Dr. Erin's face. But what I want to share is when you look at Dr. Erin, she shows up like this for everything. Now, I want to take us off the pedestal just for a second. We have bad days. We struggle. We go through challenges. The difference between women like me and Dr. Erin is we don't allow it to stop the engagement. We don't allow it to stop the mission. So if there's a day where I got to be in bed, I listen to my body, just like you said, health. And my body says, Galit, today is the day. And it doesn't happen often. I'm very fortunate. But when my body says stop, Galit listens, because if not, guess what? I'll be in bed for 7 days. Now, ask me the last time I was in bed for 7 days. It's been about 12 years. So I love when you use the word intention. Now, those of you listening and watching, ask yourself, do you show up? Do you wholeheartedly show up to the smallest things, to the biggest things? Today, I'm speaking in front of 7 people. They're going to have the same energy when I speak in April in front of 350 people. So I love that you brought up that high performers are happy. Let's use joy, happiness. I love the word happiness.
Yep.
Happiness. They're intentional. They engage. I know you mentioned a few more that I didn't remember. Tell me, Dr. Erin.
Activated, motivated, productive, energized, and disciplined. And
Beautiful.
I love what you're saying. Yeah, keep going.
Let's talk about discipline. I think that's one that so many people struggle with. Let's talk about that. Give us a little insight into what it means and some ideas of what people listening and watching can do so they themselves can be disciplined.
Okay, I'm going to give them an exercise that's going to change their life.
I love it. Let's
Problem
go.
you're not disciplined is you don't know why this mission or whatever you're trying to do is so important to you. There's no external set of rules or constructs, or I'm just going to make myself do this, or I'm just going to will myself. And if you figured that out, let me know. I was the Erin, she'll start on Monday, Oksol. Like, it was not a good look. Okay. It's not a good look. This is what you want to do. You want to write out your goal, and then you want to sow that 8 levels deep. And I'll tell you what I mean. Write out your goal and say, I want that, so that, or that's important to me because, and then go another level deep. And I want that because, and you will probably around 7 or 8 levels, you will find out why you actually want that. It's not about,
actually, yes. So for me, when you say levels, I think layers, like almost going deeper.
You're going to the heart of the matter, and you will find, it's not about the 10 pounds. It's how I'm going to actually show up in the world and what that will mean when I'm 10 pounds less. It's not about being a millionaire. It's about what that will mean for me when I'm there. And then you have to realize you have to be her now. If I were to ask you, Galit, how do you get great at playing tennis? You would say,
I would say practice every single day. And see, for me, because I'm visual, it would be see myself as the best tennis player today.
Love it.
And what do I have to do? Practical, because remember, I have both sides of the brain. Yes. What are the practical things I have to do today, every single day, so I could be the best?
Oh my gosh, I love what you're saying. It tees up this great psychological thing. We know that we need to think it, and we also need to be it. And so behavior will drive your thinking, and thinking will drive your behavior, but you're going to behave your way into different thinking and visualize it. So you're going to actually, if I want to be patient with my children, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to practice being patient. If I want to be a millionaire, I'm going to do what a millionaire does now.
Yes.
Now. So yeah, I was just visualizing myself giving my TED talk that I know someday I'll.
Yeah, but this is your year. This is your year. We already decided.
We decided. And you guys, you have to know, if you can think it, you can hold it in your hands. This thing is more powerful than you can ever imagine.
So let's go back to discipline. So we've got this thing that we want. We're seeing ourselves with what we want. It could be from the simplest things. It doesn't matter. Going for a walk every day or having a private plane. I don't care. And now you are struggling, because the everyday person does, right? You're struggling to discipline yourself to do the things you need to do, which I call action steps, every day to get there. So what are 1 or 2 tips before we wrap up and you share with everybody how they can contact you? What are a few tips we can give those? Because I, as myself, as a coach, that's what I see as one of the biggest challenges for everyday person that wants these things that they don't have today.
Love the question. I'm going to tell you a quick story so it drives it home.
I love it.
I was working out with a new personal trainer, and he said, why is your last rep your best rep? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, your last rep should be your worst rep. You should be exhausted, right? And I thought it was like this cool thing. And he's like, well, no, why? And I go, well, because I decide. And he goes, decide sooner.
Ooh.
I know. I want you
Oh,
to.
that one gave me chills.
I know.
Wait, we got to stop. We got to stop again. I want you to say that part one more time because I want people really to listen to that part again.
Why is your last rep your best rep? Because I decide. And he said, you need to decide sooner. So if you're having a discipline problem, it just reminds me and tells me that you have forgotten or not made a decision about something.
Okay.
So it's not about perfectionism. It's about, oh, I forgot that we made that decision.
Yes.
Stop with the decision fatigue. Decide once. Decide, I am a millionaire in the making. I am living in my ideal body. I am on my way. I am creating my ideal body, whatever it is. And so give yourself grace, but you've got to keep your vision on the dashboard of your brain. You've got to remind yourself, maybe you're forgetting to, if you look at my phone, it always has my dream on the front. You'll know exactly what I'm going for next. Do you know the grocery store attendant? She goes, her name's Ada. And I talk to everyone like you do, Galit. She goes, did you get your house in Cabo yet? I have told everybody what my dream is. People know.
Talk it into existence.
I am constantly living here, but I'm also living in my ideal dream.
And the best part about high performance women is it never really stops because we reach one goal and we're going for the next. Sometimes we're even reaching for 3 or 6 or 10 at the same time, and it's possible. And so for those of you, go ahead, Dr. Erin.
I do want to say one thing about that because it's so powerful. Most people would look at that and say, why is she never satisfied? And this is what I want to leave you with. The high performer doesn't do the things because they're out to prove something. They're doing it because they know that's their mission on this planet is to continually evolve and grow until the day they're gone. That is what we're here to do. So there is no worthiness attached to it. It's simply what we're here to do. And it's joy-filled. So
it really is. And speaking to that, I have to share more than anything that we are brought up in society to think that we're asking for too much or we're wanting too much or, well, isn't that enough? That's not how it works. There's enough, and more and more and more for everybody. So if you're sitting in that mindset where, well, isn't that enough? And why should they have more? Because it's possible. So why not? So I love that you said that. And it's true. Society puts all of these limited beliefs on us every day that we just have to break through and be like, nope, that's not how it works in my world. We get to create our own world, right? Isn't that what we're doing, Dr. Erin?
The word desire means of God. If you that's what you're called to do, is just to follow the breadcrumbs of your life, is to go from one desire to the next.
Yes.
My Zachary, he's 11. He wants to have 7 high-end cars. He wants a Lamborghini. He wants a Maserati. And I just say, but of course, I can't wait for you to have all that. When do we learn that it's not okay? When do we learn? So it's just bad programming. You were born worthy. You're born worthy and nothing has changed. Just
yes.
That.
Well, we have spent some great time talking about how to be a high performance woman, and I love it. And it's been so much fun for me. And I want everyone to have the opportunity to find you and learn from you and follow you and work with you. So share with us a little bit about that.
Thank you, Galit. You can find me on all the social at Dr. Erin Oksol. You can grab my book for free, which has all of the science and
name of your book, Dr. Erin.
You're going to go to drerinbook.com, drerinbook.com. It's called Mind Your Own Business.
Ooh, that's so perfect for what we talked about today. What a perfect book. Perfect. And I even like the second meaning, right? Because we talked about it's nobody's business what you're doing or what you want to create. So I kind of like both meanings. Of course, it's all mind. We're really big about that. But I also like the mind your own business because there's so many people out there that are going to tell you what you can and cannot do.
Oh, true. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you for being a part of my amazing inner network. I love being connected to you. I love that we met. And I look forward to continuing to to share with you all the things that we are doing together and individually. And I appreciate everyone that's watching and listening. Another episode of the Successful Women's TV show. My name is Galit Ventura Rosen, and I will see you next time. Bye.